Stephen Amell, Oliver Queen, the Green Arrow does not support the Hollywood strike. Yes, you heard that right. He doesn't support striking. But does that mean he doesn't support the union? This just popped up in my newsfeed a couple of hours ago and I wasn't sure how I was going to unpack this or talk about it, but I think we need to take a look at the video and sort of discuss what all of this means. Before we get into that, my name is Eric. Welcome to the Eric's Reloaded channel in the Ericverse. If you'd like to become part of this community, please hit subscribe on my channel and leave a like and leave a comment down below about your thoughts and opinions on any and all of this as we navigate this times where the WGA and SAG are striking. Support them, support the creatives and everything that they're doing. They're important. The CEOs, all of those people don't need any more money. Pay the people that create the content. All right, so this is an article from Deadline. It says Stephen Amell calls actors' strike myopic and a reductive negotiating tactic. We're going to read this article, but first I believe we should probably watch the actual video to see what Stephen Amell had to say. There are some quotes and things in that article, and we're going to unpack all of that, but let's watch the video in full so that everybody gets an idea of exactly what Stephen Amell had to say about all of this. Now, this is at GalaxyCon, and he was asked about the strike specifically. The video is about a minute long. Let's get into it.
And the ongoing strike that is happening.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm insulated in Hollywood because that's where I live. I literally live in Hollywood, like all the stereotypes that exist. So I feel like a lot of people in this room aren't aware of the strike.
I think a lot of people are aware of it, actually.
I support my union.
Okay.
I do, and I stand with them. I do not support striking. I don't.
Notice the silence in that room. The silence.
Reductive negotiating tactic. And I find the entire thing incredibly frustrating. And I think that the thinking as it pertains to shows like the show that I'm on that premiered last night, I think that is... Woo! I think that it is, I think it's myopic. And I stand with my union.
All right, well, that's it. That's the full clip. I think it says quite a lot in that room, in the space that he's in, that everybody is so silent while he's saying this. The reality is that I think it's going to be frustrating for everybody. As someone who is not an actor, not a writer, I'm very ignorant to some of the larger behind the scenes pictures that are going on. We only really know what's happening up front. So maybe he's speaking from a place that we're not aware of. So I'm going to say there could be some ignorance from myself and other people that are speaking on this, but I do want to give sort of my outside opinion on all of this. As somebody who watches what's happening in Hollywood, I think it's very obvious that a lot of the writers and actors are getting paid. They're way undervalued based on the amount of work they're doing for these companies, for these studios. Corporations are getting profits, massive amounts of profit. They're putting it into the pockets of the executives, the CEOs, the shareholders, and there are people on the creative side that are just not making a lot of money off of this, and I think it's very unfortunate. So, in my opinion, I understand the frustration from all angles. I get it. The people that want to work, the people that want to go back to work, the people who are missing out on big projects. I mean, we're seeing actors step away from approved projects now that they're saying, look, I don't think it feels right to do this. That's something that I talked about. I wasn't sure how I would feel in that situation. If other people that I knew in my industry were striking and I'm out here working, like what am I doing at that point? I don't know how I'd react to that. I don't truly know. However, these comments, and let's read through this Deadline article here just to refresh on what we just saw. Stephen Amell, who stars drama Heels, returned for its second season over the weekend, is not going to the mat for the actor strike that is currently taking place in Hollywood. Which, by the way, the fact that he sort of semi-promoted that, I don't know. Was that a promotion? Was him mentioning that a promotion at a convention? I don't know. Like, to be honest, I don't even know what he was doing there at the convention. Maybe he was promoting the show at the convention. I didn't think they were allowed to do that. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Amell, best known for playing the lead role in the CW's Arrow, is called the actor strike myopic, which means very nearsighted. Basically, it means like not looking at the bigger picture, which I think it's the opposite of that, to be completely honest. Incredibly frustrating and reductive negotiating tactic, meaning that he feels like it's just not doing any good to do a work stoppage. Amell has become one of, if not the most high-profile actors to speak out against the Fran Drescher-led SAG-AFTRA strike against the AMPTP. While both the actors and the writers' strike have received positive support from a majority of union and guild members publicly, it's important to note that not everyone supports them. It says here, I support my union. I do, and I stand by them, with them, but I do not support striking. I don't. I think it's a reductive negotiating tactic. I find the entire thing incredibly frustrating. I think it's thinking as it pertains to a show like the shows that I'm on. It's premiered last night. I think it's myopic. We just watched that. GalaxyCon and Riley. It says in June, some 97.91% voted in favor of handling SAG-AFTRA for leadership authorization to walk out, with nearly half of eligible actors casting ballots. It called the strike on June 13th. A-list actors such as George Clooney, Matt Damon, and Jessica Chastain are among those who have publicly supported the walkout, in addition to thousands of others that have appeared on picket lines across New York and LA. I don't know how this is going to look for him long term. Like, I don't know if he's going to get support from other actors that agree with him and what that means for the industry as a whole. Are we going to see like this portion of actors who are either in the union or not in the union just come out and say, like, we don't support this at all, we think it's a bad idea? And what is the motivation for that? What is the end goal for actors who are coming out and saying, I don't support this, I don't support striking? What does it mean for the industry? Is it something the executives are going to use against the people that are actually trying to get, you know, to have better pay, better work conditions? Like, is that what's going to happen with this? Is it going to make them like sort of pick these folks up and say, hey, here we go. Here's examples of people that don't agree with this, so we must be doing something right. I don't know. I always get a little weary when someone sort of crosses the line. Is this language crossing the line? Is this not good to say? I mean, he was asked, he gave a valid response, right? He was asked by someone in the audience what he thought about it, and he gave an honest response. If anything, I at least respect him for saying how he feels. But as someone who is very creative, as someone who believes in art and believes in creativity, I have to really support the actors and the writers and say they need better pay. They need better conditions. They need to make sure that AI is not going to be something that's going to take their jobs away from them. These are all things that we really should be supporting from these people. So what does he know that we don't know? What is going on behind the scenes that maybe we're not privy to as outsiders? Is there something happening that we're not aware of that we should be paying more attention to? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. I really don't. But I will say it's going to be interesting to see what happens now. They're saying he was one of the most high-profile actors to speak out. Are we going to see more actors speak out against the strike? And what does this mean for the long-term viability of striking and work stoppages and boycotting? What does this mean for that? Is this going to jeopardize his space in the union? Are we going to see some people get removed from the union, taken off from their SAG-AFTRA representation? Like, what does that mean? This is really interesting. How do you feel about this? Do you agree or disagree with Stephen Amell here? How do you feel about him being so honest about it? I'm very curious about your thoughts and opinions. So make sure you go down in the comments below and tell me what you think about this, because I'm very, very curious about where everybody stands on this. That's pretty much it. I'm going to get out of here. I'll see everybody in the next video. I got a Witcher video coming out tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. All right, talk to everyone later. Bye.